In Nehemiah 1, 5 through 7, he prays to God to forgive his people for their past sins and to allow them to be gathered back in one dwelling place as he had promised. I was asked to share with you a time in my life when I prayed fervently and God answered my prayer. Because throughout my life almost daily God has answered so many prayers that I dare not number them, I found this a little overwhelming. But after some thought, I decided to share with you a very recent prayer experience that changed my life. In 2020, a few weeks into the pandemic isolation, I felt a tug on my heart to move to Jonesboro. For someone who had lived practically her whole life except the years I was in college, in Wynne and Cross County, this seemed like a crazy notion. My mother, who lived in Wynne her whole life, had died in 2015. I had retired from my pharmacy profession at the end of 2016, and my husband had retired as the manager of the utilities in Wynne in 2017. His children by a previous marriage lived in Northwest Arkansas, and my son and his family lived in Jonesboro. I knew it would be wise to be closer to family as we were getting older, and we needed to do this while we were healthy enough to undertake a move. However, I prayed about it daily, and I told God that if He really wanted me to move, I would know it when I found the perfect house. With the help of a realtor and Zillow, I began to search for houses in Jonesboro. For about 5 months, I looked at houses online and numerous houses in person. Early on, I looked at a house that piqued my interest, but it was out of my price range and would need quite a bit of remodeling in order to fulfill our needs. So I kept looking and praying, and all the while, I knew that maybe it was not in God's will or timing. I was learning to be patient and to wait for His guidance. Then, one Friday night in the middle of August, while we were in Northwest Arkansas visiting the family, I received an email on my iPad that the price of the house that I had liked the most in all of my search had been lowered dramatically, putting it in my price range. We came home the following day, and on Sunday I made arrangements to come view the house once more. After looking at it with earnest interest, I purchased the house on the spot. Then I had a moment of thinking, what did you just do? I thanked God for answering my prayer and for His guidance, and asked Him to continue to direct my path. I closed on the house in 30 days. The remodeling started right away, and within 5 weeks of beginning the remodel, we were ready to move in. The number of miraculous things that occurred over that time would take me an hour or more to tell, but I knew that God was with me and removing obstacles in order for me to make this move. A few months after we settled in, the pandemic was improving and churches were beginning to gather once again. We were invited to Christian Followers Sunday School class by friends we had known in Wynne, Marvin and Mary Hageman. We felt welcome from the first moment, and we have been coming faithfully ever since. After a few months, we moved our membership from the Methodist Church in Wynne to First Church, and we are so grateful for this church family. Almost daily over the past 3 years, God has winked at me with some little sign that we are planted where He wants us to be. So, in this season of my life, my prayer is now that we will bloom in this place where He has planted us.